We're back. I can't really scream right now because, yeah, people will think I'm crazy. People will think I'm crazy. But we're here today. We're here tonight. We're here tonight. So, um, before we get started, uh, before we get started, you know, I just want to thank y'all that have supported me. But I just want to thank y'all for real. Y'all have been good people, man. Um, y'all have been there for me. I'm not gonna lie. Those that have actually been there for me, man. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all so much. Um, yeah, man. Love y'all so much. Today, yeah, I might pull off all nighter. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like pulling off all nighter. I'm gonna sleep probably. That's what I'm saying. So I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Clap y'all up, man. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to y'all peoples, man. Shout out to everybody, bro, that's been supporting me since day one, gang. Since day one. That's kind of crazy, bro. To be honest, it's kind of crazy, bro. To be honest, but shout out to y'all for real. Um, Today we've got like special episodes, but today we're gonna be doing church youth church chronicles, but so we're gonna be reacting to a group called gonna be reacting to a group called Youth Group Chronicles. We're gonna be hearing some crazy youth stories, bro. Some wild youth stories, cause I know, bro. I've heard wild youth stories about some individuals in church, and I've also been through some wild youth experiences. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, bruh, it's crazy, bruh. So it's gonna be like a whole different ball game, bruh. Man, today is gonna be crazy episodes, bruh. Gonna be crazy episodes, man. Don't forget, y'all, to just like enjoy, bruh. Make sure y'all enjoy. Make sure y'all feel. Make sure you enjoy, bruh. Make sure let's enjoy a little bit. Why can a nigga get some interaction? Why can a guy get some interaction, bruh? Like, why can't I get some action too, bruh? Huh? Why can I get some action too, bruh? Man, y'all should be chatting, but heavy. Y'all should be showing about, showing about some love. You feel me? You should showing the boy some love, bro. And I don't know who's dropping tomorrow. I think someone's dropping an EP. Oh yeah, Caleb Gordon is dropping the EP tomorrow. So shout out to Caleb Gordon. He's dropping an EP tomorrow. So I'm gonna react to that EP that Caleb Gordon is gonna drop. It's gonna be heat. It's gonna be heat, bro. It's gonna be heat. It's gonna be heat. That Caleb Gordon is gonna be heat. I'm telling you, bro. I see it. I see it. I see it right now, but I see it. But I see it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go crazy on that Caleb Gordon. You're often gonna see a different side of me with that Caleb Gordon, bro. You're often gonna see a different side of me, bro. A different side of me. I'm gonna be duck. I'm gonna be dancing, bro. You're playing with me, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Like for real, bro. Like I can't wait. I can't wait for that EP. I don't know what time it's gonna drop, but Caleb Gordon is an EP that's gonna drop. I think someone else also has a project they would. Oh, Schema Boy is also gonna drop an EP. I think an EP. I think Schema Boy is also gonna drop like a project. So Caleb Gordon is dropping a project, and Schema Boy is dropping a project, bro. Yo, tomorrow. Is like, bro, I'm geeked, bro. I'm geeked. I'm geeked. I'm geeked. So I'm gonna do an all nighter. Then tomorrow I'm gonna be reacting the whole day. The whole day. The whole day I'm gonna be reacting to. The whole day I'm gonna be reacting to. I'm gonna react to both Caleb Gordon and Skiba Boy's EP. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Big stepper. Big stepper. Don't play with me. So yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Let me know, y'all. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And everybody's watching her. Looking at. Ooh, ooh. Let me know if you hear, bro. Let me know. Let me know. So we're gonna start. We're gonna dive right into it, bro. Gonna dive right into it. Yeah. Let me know. Straight into it, bro. So first, I just wanna check my chat. Just wanna fix my chat real quick. Fix my chat real quick. Gonna fix the chat, bro. But yo, if you hear, just say something in the comments. Say something in the chat. You feel me? Then we can get right. Just leave like a message down. If you can't hear me, if you like, there's a problem, if it's lagging, just leave like a message down in the chat, bro. So that before we start, like I want everything proper before we start. Leave a comment. That's what I'm saying. Just leave a comment, bro. Yeah, you hear me now? Alright, let's start. Let's start. I bet.
I shared a verse where Jesus instructs.
Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, y'all can hear me, right? Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Y'all can hear me, right? Okay, y'all can hear me, right? So I have to speak loud. That means I have to speak loud, bruh.
Okay,
I have to speak loud.
right?
So I have to speak loud. That means I have to speak loud, bruh.
Okay,
I have to speak loud.
right?
So I have to speak.
To turn the other cheek. I began to share how this can be frustrating as a Christian, and without thinking, I proceeded to say, as Christians, we never get to slap cheeks. Sometimes I want to slap cheeks, but I feel like I'm only getting my cheeks slapped.
Oh, yo.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Youth Group Chronicles. We have a special guest in the studio with us today. And honestly, I think this is the most requested collab that we've gotten.
It is?
From listeners. Because we'll like put out, we'll put out every once in a while. We'll be like, hey, who do you want us to collab with? And they're like, John Chris. And that's who we have today. So John, welcome to Youth Group Chronicles. Thank you for being here, man.
It's an honor.
I appreciate it.
Well, it's going to be hard to get guests in
that
Elmira,
is
New
a
York.
factor, a pretty big factor.
Yeah.
There's definitely limiting.
There's only well, but I
Shout out to these guys, man. Shout out to Youth Group Chronicles. Shout out to Youth Group Chronicles. Appreciate y'all, man, giving us content so I can have content. I mean, you can't hate the game, bro. You can't hate the game, but you can't hate the game. Shout out to y'all, Youth Group Chronicles. Y'all do an excellent job. sharing and spreading. I don't know what you wanna call them, testimonies, or I mean, it's confessions, but it's testimonies regardless. Nevertheless, so shout out to y'all, man. Y'all be doing good. Keep doing the hard work, man. And yeah, let's get to it, man.
I will tell you, I listened to the last episode on the way up here. Theo would come on the pod.
You think so? Did we
Yes,
mention that?
dude.
Did we mention that? I couldn't remember.
Dude, Theo
that was one of the
would
names
come
I
on
was
this
Of
like,
course,
pod
it's the one you
for sure.
That was one of the names I was like, dude, if we could get Theo Vaughn on here,
He would think this is awesome.
That's what I was thinking because it's
He
like the
would think
most
this is
random
awesome.
things.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that next. We'll do
When
that. Next.
somebody big asked him, he's like, nah, he don't want to do anything. But he was like, wait, it's in Elmira, New York, in a mall, and they talk about youth group. I'll be there. He'd be there. He'd fly private up to here to be on this.
Well, we got an airport right next to us, so that makes it easy.
Right,
It's literally like across the street. But and we have Mr. Cole Clark with us today as well. So
yeah.
thank you guys
Yeah,
for
man.
joining me in the studio.
It's the first time duo.
Yep, first time.
So how we discovered that you discovered Youth Group Chronicles is you saw a goat sacrificing clip, right? Was that the first thing? You remember that?
We
VAR. Mm-mm.
a goat sacrificing clip, right? Was that the first thing? You remember that?
we watch y'all's clips on our
I
pod.
think
all
so.
the
It was a
time.
while ago, right?
Yeah, I think it comes out this week. The one about the somebody, because they send them to me.
Uh-huh.
They're like,
funny.
check. I'm like, yeah, I know who. It's like somebody sending me a meme of my meme.
That's
And
yeah.
like you were like, yeah,
Yeah.
I made this meme like 10 years ago.
Right.
They're like, Christians are crazy. I'm like, I made this. I made this. Yeah, we clipped the one recently about the laying on hands and they touched a girl.
Oh yeah, he like yeah. That's I vaguely yes. If I'm thinking
Wait,
of the
what kind of order does this podcast go in?
I mean, that one probably came out a while. It
Oh,
may
it
have been.
did?
It may have been
Oh.
because we'll like repost a couple things, so maybe it just came up in your feed.
Who's in charge of clips here?
That would be me. Yeah.
It's
But apparently, you didn't see the first one, so somehow it works. But was it the one where the kid was blindfolded?
the goat sacrifice.
No, the one you just did. I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
he was blindfolded, and you
Yes.
put your hands on people and try to guess who they are.
Yeah. You're trying to.
Blindfold laying
The game
hands.
was to feel their face.
Yeah.
And the girl was taller than him, and he just went.
And then he said,
Conveniently.
yeah, and then he
Yeah.
said, "Sorry, Melissa."
Yeah,
Immediately.
he knew the name. Yes. But he was blindfolded.
We're reviewing your own clip on
Yeah,
your
I-
pod. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, that was
Honestly.
a good one, dude." Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, we do that all the time. So if we're like throwing out references, the chat gets it. But hello, Instagram Live. Appreciate you guys being here. Noon on a Friday afternoon? This is a little different
Come
for you guys,
through.
but you guys pulled through, so we appreciate it. Let's do some stories. So we'll kind of mix it up. I know you mentioned that you grew up in youth ministry. You might have some stuff. So what I'll
I got
do
a ton.
is
Yeah.
if you have a story you're just like, that reminds me,
Okay.
throw it out there. There
I
is
love that.
no
That's a good idea.
rules to this. So
Well, I was confused about how, and maybe, so it's like youth kids can't submit.
they can.
They do.
Yeah. So we get
But you try to
submissions.
get it from leaders.
It really doesn't matter at this point. It seems like it's from everybody.
You know
It's
how,
from
like,
moms.
Yeah.
It's from leaders. It's from pastors that are 70 years old that aren't
Yeah.
ministry anymore.
Yeah,
It's from
Feeding the dogs now. Okay. We see you doing good works, doing charity good works.
kids. So it's like it's a lot of different point of
People
views.
pass the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's on, I don't know if you're allowed to say this, but Jackass the show.
Yes.
And they were like,
Yep.
don't submit. They're like, do not. They were like, hey, if you're watching this, do not. We can't open your videos because kids are going to try to like. But I like how you guys like it's leaders.
So yes,
if you're a leader, send in.
Yes, we let them know that the show originally is for youth leaders and pastors. But somehow the kids are still listening. But we have made it clear, so we try to keep it as.
Well, you know what's gonna tear this podcast apart.
What
is your cameo idea? And they can choose which person they like the most.
You know who's only gotten cameos?
Who?
Where is he? Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he's gonna start asking for a raise, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't do it this week, bro. I'm doing cameos. I'm only doing cameos.
But if you guys have stories you want to send in, stories at ygcpodcast.com. We will start this off with a story from Zach. What'd you say?
Stories, bro. I got a lot, bro. Got a lot. Like, bro. But I didn't heard like a lot, bro, of youth. Like, bro. Which? Okay, man. This was back in the day, but this was back in the day. This was way back in the day, bruh. So like, please don't fault me, but like, I'm a changed man right now, but I'm changed. I'm with the Lord, bruh. I'm changed, bro. I'm changed, bruh. I'm changed, bro. Don't fault me for, bro. I'm changed, bruh. You know what I mean? Like, I know my identity now in Christ, but back then, bro. Back then, okay. So like we used to go to like a youth. So there was this other youth place. Shout out to there used to be called used to be called Living Waters, but now it's called. Okay, let me just shout out to that youth place. We used to go to this other youth place. Me and the boys, me and the homies back then. We used to go to that youth place. And that youth place was like it had youth, like it had a youth session on. I think Wednesdays. Was it Wednesdays or Fridays? I think it was Fridays. Yeah, it was Fridays. It had Friday. It had Friday youth sessions. It had Friday youth sessions. So we would just predominantly just go there on those Friday just to bag the girls, man. Just to go for the girls. We used to just go there to literally try to find a girl. Literally, like, would make a plan that okay, guys, let's dress up. Let's go on Friday. Let's go Friday. Let's dress up. Let's go. And then, bro, we would just strictly go there for the huss, bro, for the huss. And then I mean, like some people found the huss that they like, bro. But this other bro that was down bad. When I tell you, bro was down bad for that huss, bro was down tremendous. He was 6 feet under, bro. 6 feet under. I'm telling you, bro. Bro was so down bad, right? Like, bro started like to that girl at the youth group, right? Bro like started doing a whole bunch of stuff for that girl, bro. Bought her like ice cream and all that, bro. Like, was down bad, bro. He was down bad. He was down tremendous. But my other G, he knows himself, man. He knows himself. He was the most down bad boy out of everyone, bro. Most down bad, bro. Most down bad. He knows himself, bro. He knows himself. But this wasn't a church. This is not a church. This didn't happen in the youth group. It happened. It was just a random canon event that happened, bro. Back then, bro. But the youth group one, yeah, that's just one thing, bro. Like we went there just to bag shorties, but there's other one shorty back then. We used to call her Scorpo, which means like head, like because she had a big forehead, bro. Like she had a big forehead. Like she had like a big forehead, but like a Somali type of forehead, bro. Like that head, he had a forehead, a five head, a back head, and a straight head, bro. He had every head you could think about, bro. No Diddy, but yeah, bro, for real. Back those crazy, man. That's crazy. Crazy. I always need to check up on it. Can we just talk about where we going? Can we just just checking my chat? Just checking my chat real quick. If my chat is popping up, it's not popping up on this one. That bad, Eddie. That bad. I just need to fix this real quick. Let me fix this real quick. Need to fix this real quick. Can we just Can we just talk about where we go? Vidya, how are you, bro? Let me know, let me know, let me know. Can we just Can we just talk about where we go? Can we just Hey, guys. Oh,
Eli.
Oh, what's up, Eli? Is he still my brother,
It's his
Eli?
brother.
Oh, that's his
Yeah, that's
brother
where we
in
were.
the chat.
Yeah.
Come
All right,
through.
this is from Zach. Zach said at youth group, I was talking to one of my students asking him how his day was. He said it was good, but he had a cut that was bothering him. That's when he turned his head to show me a huge gash on the side of his neck. In shock, I asked him what happened, and he proceeded to tell me that he used a pocket knife to cut off a skin tag.
Sure.
That's when he proceeded to pull out a glass vial and asked me if I wanted to see it.
Nah.
what?
Nah, bro.
Of this.
What? Wait, bro. Wait. What? Bro. Nah. Rewind this. Wait, what?
In shock, I asked him what happened, and he proceeded to tell me that he used a pocket knife to cut off a skin tag.
Sure.
That's when he proceeded to pull out a glass vial and asked me if I wanted to see it.
Nah. Nah, bro.
Of this. Of the.
Of the skin tag.
Science
What?
experiment in youth ministry.
Nah.
Why does he have a glass vial?
Nah.
Where would you get
Just
that?
for this.
Nah, y'all are bugging, bro. Y'all are bugging. What? Wait. Hey, bro.
It's the
Apparently.
same kid who was also cutting the skin tag off with
A pocket knife. And he's bleeding out his neck still.
I don't know if I'd expect anything different. Like if that type of kid who's doing it would totally save it.
That actually checks
Yeah.
out.
Would totally keep it.
I mean, you can save like a fingernail or like
Or teeth.
A teeth. Yeah, that's a better one. Yeah. You can't save skin, bro.
Right.
Doesn't it like change colors?
Right. Like it's like 6 months later, it's like in
I
there.
don't think it
shriveled.
ages well.
Right.
You know.
It's mold growing on it.
A tooth is like after somebody could be in a fire, the way we still got the teeth.
That's
Right.
true.
That holds up.
My baby teeth split in half after a while because I kept them. And they cracked. I know it's weird. I know
Really?
it's weird. Yeah,
Oh,
they,
your
like,
first
they
round.
split in half.
Yeah.
First round.
Like a shark's tooth.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, I'd keep that.
That's
I'd
a
keep that
homeschool
around.
move right there.
Yeah. Oh,
For
100%.
sure.
So you
And
said
there's
you
let me
grew up
say there's a
homeschooled?
lot of knocking on homeschool that I don't like. I don't like.
That's right. Yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. They just seem to slip it in.
Yeah, now homeschool. What makes me mad is homeschool is now becoming cool.
Right after we're done.
Yeah, right after we're done.
Yeah.
And it's not. Here's the thing. Homeschool now. It's like actors and like athletes homeschool so they can like do their career earlier.
Yeah.
We were when you
paving
talk
the
about
way.
homeschool, you're talking about us.
Yes, that's
Like you're talking about.
unfortunately.
Yeah, you're talking about the co-op.
Bro.
Yes.
And you can never
Who's
shake
us,
it. And people
bro?
in this comment section, if you know homeschool, you've been to the co-op. You know what the co-op is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like once a week you
Yep.
go to like
All the homeschoolers get together so that we can have community and learn to socialize with other kids. But there are also other kids that don't know how to socialize. So
Yeah.
kinda
Put them all in one place.
the blind leading the blind.
Right.
But
Were you allowed to play sports? Like high school sports?
I went to after my mom had her 8th child.
Oh, okay. So
We went to school.
Damn.
so you got to
Now shout out to Pops. Bro. I'm just assuming that one pops. I'm just assuming. If I'm saying, I'm just assuming. But if it's not,
You didn't endure
Not high school.
only
No.
homeschool. So one time I was in high school, I was playing sports, and they let everyone at the school know the bus was leaving early for an away game. And then 5 minutes, actually no, they were all on the bus. I live like 15 minutes away on a mountain. And they text us or call my mom. They're like, "Where's Sam?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, a bus doesn't leave for an hour." I'm like outside, like doing something, right? Mom's like, "We got to get there." I get there. I walk down the center out to the back of the bus. All of them are staring at me because they never called me the homeschool kid.
Oh yeah.
And then actually, this is trauma. This is coming up.
So you have to
The
announce it.
softball coach.
Why'd you see
Because we were
therapy?
like the baseball team rode with the softball team. He comes to the back. He's like, "Where's Moss?" I'm sorry, I'm right here.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
like,
no.
"You ever make us late like this again, we're leaving you." I'm just like, literally, what
I
did you
didn't
expect
know.
me to do?
I was homeschooled, dude. Yeah, my dad would, whenever I would be like not behaving, he would threaten me with public school.
That was the threat. If you mess
You
around,
clean
I'm
this
gonna
up
take
right
you-
now, I'm gonna send you to Lilburn Middle School. You know?
Take the detour on the way home.
Yeah.
Why don't you look out the window to your right? Keep playing with me, son.
And that's some nice that's some good propaganda.
Right.
Yeah,
Because little did we know that would have been sick. Yeah, they're like, it's like a different denomination.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you just
Did you
never
ever-
experience it.
You ever talk about that in here? Are you allowed to go to other? We weren't allowed.
What's
we were
funny
like
is we get
Pentecostal.
stories from all the denominations and they just slam the other one. So like,
Yeah,
no one knows.
Right.
We just it's a melting pot in here.
Mm-hmm.
But we would never be allowed to go to the other ones.
No.
Like, because my dad was a pastor.
Uh-huh.
So, like, what do you mean you want to go? Which, in hindsight, if your kid wanted to go to church,
Mhm.
like, if you'd be
Right.
like thrilled.
Right.
We're like, we want to go to Grace Fellowship Youth Group. He's
You bought water.
like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Why you giving me water as if it's juice, bro? Thinking some soda.
No, but Baptist, no.
Uh-huh.
Presbyterian, no.
Nope. And then it never went the other way. It was always they weren't allowed to come. You weren't allowed to go. It was
No,
just-
no.
no.
But when that's what was always wild about youth camp.
They are all together.
All together, dude. It was the Wild West, bro.
Did
That
you
was
go to
the
camp a
one
lot
time
growing
a
up?
year.
Yeah.
Yes. Dude, I lived at a Christian camp.
You did?
I grew up at a camp. So every summer.
Okay, my dad was a pastor. I grew up in youth group, and then I was like a youth leader.
Mhm.
So I had like the whole.
Oh, so you've been
I got all
so I have
sides.
so I have some good questions then. If you're
Well, I
if
got
you're a
one-
youth leader. I want to hear this.
This is the wildest story. So I was homeschooled in youth camp. This is at Chaco Springs, Georgia, where like looking back on it, there's like archery. Like, who is licensed for that?
Actually,
Right.
I was certified, which is scary because I was like
Yeah.
14.
Archery?
Yeah. Which looking back is crazy to think about.
Yeah, they were like, hey, everybody, we're doing arch. So like, you know, we probably discussed this in here the last night when there's like the fire and brimstone.
Uh-huh.
This is the message where everybody, and this was like in the 90s. So like there's a lot of, at least in my tradition, a lot of like falling over.
Mhm.
Like you pray for somebody
Right.
and you keep praying, pray hard. And he's like, not yet. And then he falls over and you put a blanket over him.
Yep.
Right.
And I don't know if that's offensive to.
No.
Blanket. Depends what it means by blanket. It means blanket by sleeving or blanket by the like when the ushers like put the cover you feel what I'm saying like yeah. Me personally like I personally have never fallen. I've never fallen when like a pastor is like put their hands on me. I've never like fallen or anything. So I have no comments on people who do fall. So yeah.
No.
It's,
I
at
have
this
no
point, you've heard
comments on
everything, and
that.
that's
Like,
what
don't
pretty much our
ask
Okay,
me
well,
questions
I-
about
Yeah.
things, but-
Hopefully That baby's too young. Is there a baby in here?
Is there? Yeah, there is.
He has a baby. Okay, so me and my brother, and I texted my brother on the way over here to verify this story because I was like, maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Oh, no.
So, he delivers a whole prayer because this guy was named Big Randy was his name.
Big Randy.
And he shaved his
Big
head
Randy.
because
Big
we
Randy.
memorized enough Bible verses.
Oh shoot.
And he's like, if you guys all memorize it, I'll shave my head. So the last night he shaves his head. Like, just insane.
Right.
Okay. Me and my brother Barton go up for prayer.
Mhm.
We're getting prayed for. We're like the pastor's kids, so I don't want to brag, but we're kind of like, the best prayers. Like, let's go pray for them.
The 18.
Yeah,
Send out the 18.
send them over. Hey, they need, because they're gonna tell my dad how youth group went or how youth group. So,
Right.
so this lady, I'm gonna say I'm 11.
Mhm.
My brother's 13, maybe 12. She's praying for us, right? And it's at that age of a boy.
Mm-hmm.
She's going, I think you know where this story's going. She's going, bless him, Lord, let guide their lives when they go back. Let them be on fire for God.
Mhm.
And you get like, it's supposed to be like fire and brimstone prayer, like going, and I'm guessing, and I riff sometimes a comedy.
Mhm.
She goes, we just pray right now, Lord, that you would break the spirit of masturbation on their lives.
No.
Was this on a mic?
No, not on a mic.
Okay.
But we didn't know what it was. And if y'all clip this, I'm gonna be pissed. But
Wow.
I was standing there like with my because you get prayer, like you have to like receive the prayer, and my eyes are closed, and I look at my brother. She's with her eye. We look at my brother. He looks at me. We're like, what? I never heard of that. I was homeschooled. I had no idea what that is or was or.
Uh-huh.
I was like, what? And then we were on the way home. My parents came and picked us up. And they were like, how was youth camp? I was like,
Nah, there's no way you'll ask. No way. There's no way you'll ask. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way you'll ask about that, bro. Nah, me, I can't. Nah, I can't. No chance. I can't.
well, Lavella, that was her
no.
name, told us that we should break the spirit of masturbation in our lives. And dude, my dad, he went back, like that lady. I never saw the lady at church again.
That was youth camp. It was great. We got the spirit of masturbation broken off of us.
And I don't know what the spirit, I don't know what that would be.
I don't know either, but we've had yawning demon spirits on this podcast.
What did they do? I don't.
They told their youth kids
That's right.
that if they don't behave, like that's
Spirit of
essentially how it
yawning.
came off. Like
Mhm.
if you yawn or you
In service, right?
it was yawn and something else, yawn or something else.
Spirit of yawning.
You, it's a demon. And so a girl went
Amen.
through 6 hours of panic and anxiety, and they had to pull her out of the room because she's like, I yawned, so I have a demon. And I was like, listen, if you look it up, somewhere somebody has a yawning demon. And we looked it up, and it was true. There is.
Yeah, because if you
There is
There's some
theology
article
around
out there about
There
think
is a
about
thing.
like I know as a comic, like if you are doing a topic,
Mhm.
you talk about a topic, and people like last night I was talking about like my nephews are like nobody really like disciplines them, and they're like everybody was like yeah, like kind of like keep going, and they were very into the topic.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So you just so I can imagine this lady, and we're like, and everybody's like, the pastor's kids are up for prayer finally because they're terrorizing everything. This is great. And she's like, you go in and you're like, I'm on a hot streak. and if you're 11 to 13, you're like, at numbers wise,
right.
That's probably
they might hit that
within range.
Right. There's a high probability that one lands.
You're like, I'm gonna take a shot. Numbers wise,
Right.
if you're like, what are these kids struggling with? You're like, I mean, why didn't you go like bullying at school or like
something safer,
reading too many books or something like that? Strut with their homework, dude.
She got hyped up. She was 30 seconds in. She was like, matter of fact.
Yeah, whoa. But I asked my brother because he goes, I will never forget that the rest of my life.
I wouldn't either.
I didn't know what it was. My mom, my parents did because there was no. I'm sure you've had stories about this that like they're trying to educate on that topic, but no one.
Yeah, they don't know.
No one knows.
Yeah, or
dude.
a kid will blurt out a question. That's the worst
Right.
one. We get a lot of those where they'll just be like, "Hey, what?" in front of the whole youth group, and it'll be the shelter kid,
Right. Or like really old pastors that are extremely out of touch with any type of lingo.
Yeah,
And they're like
just
talking about
posted that,
threesomes and sending them on three. We really want a threesome. It's like a 75-year-old pastor.
Yep.
All the kids are like,
What?
really?
What was the one we just clipped? Did you see that one? I think it was you. It was oh shoot, I have to look it up. Caitlin, you might remember. We posted it like 2 days ago. It was pull out your sack and bring it to the altar because he was talking about like Achan. And then it was an older pastor.
Just setting themselves up.
Yeah,
for disaster.
that's a lot of the stories that we get are like they have no idea what they're saying or they catch what they're saying.
Bad line.
Yeah,
Punch line.
the octopus and the tentacles, or she was trying to say tentacles.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
Yep. So you said you were a youth leader, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever have a story? Did you ever hurt a kid accidentally?
Yeah, I mean,
Off the record, we're not gonna.
Yeah, well,
I feel like that's such a
allegedly
loaded question because people ask that question like, "How many kids have you hurt like in games?"
we had I led a youth trip to Cairo, Egypt.
Dang.
Which is like,
Dang.
what are we doing? Like, who asked for us?
Why? Why? How? Why? Wait. Why?
All these white teenagers to be like, we had the solution for y'all. Like, and we do, by the way, we do. But what? Here we're gonna 14 million people in this city, guys, and we always like brag, like we're like, hey, like we're like, keep like we would always be like at church, like we can't tell our location, like pray for them, like but like as if the government is like, we got to put an end to Samantha and Christina coming to town.
We'd like to share.
It was all very like, hey, like Christianity's like illegal there, so like the government can't know. I go, I think the government is like, we'll be fine.
Pretty well aware.
But we were like praying at the beginning for like, I don't know, that God would bless the trip or something. And there was very, the fire was, and then some girl took it that she should go off her meds, that God had healed her. So like she was like a schizophrenic and like bipolar, and she's like, God healed me. Like,
and this is in Cairo,
in
Egypt.
Cairo, Egypt.
That was the moment.
And her,
Great place to test it. Wow. Nice little hard launch.
yeah, it didn't. So if I did hurt. It was like I was like, maybe they're healed. I don't know. And then we found out, 3 days later that they were not. They prayed on that trip. We went to like a hospital of some sort to like pray for people like that, which is good. No, it is good. I don't know why I said it with a question mark at the end. Yeah, no.
He's seeing the end of the story. He's like, which is good, I guess.
And I need to say that different. But this guy, Bruce, was in our, like a very confident Christian. And I was the leader of the trip. So we were going, praying for people like in their, this guy was in a hospital bed. And the leg was either broken or something like that. And we prayed for him. His fire comes down. And then he goes, amen. And he goes, get up. And I was like, all right. Well, I mean, I'm a man of faith. Let's not. All right, we'll just follow up in a couple weeks and see if he's
Right.
doing better.
Right.
Let's not.
And this is in Egypt.
Yeah, but that was like what Christ did.
Right.
He like literally pray for them. And he's like, get up. And he goes, get up. And I was like, all right. We'll follow up. Yeah. This is dangerous. Yeah.
All right, let's get to some stories here. We will do a story from Cole. Cole said, during prayer at youth camp, I heard a student behind me say, uh-oh. That's when I turned around to see an eyeball staring at me from the floor. Somehow this kid's glass eye had popped out and rolled down to where I was standing. He quickly dusted it off, popped it back in, and we never spoke of it again.
Dude, that would be like seeing a cherubim moment if you just like came right out of worship. Just look down, just eyes looking at you, dude. Just a rolling eye.
That they would say, hey, that, like somebody could be like, that never happened. You're like, I swear that happened. Like nobody spoke.
How are you going to verify?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like things that happen in your childhood with your parents, or like they're like, I don't remember that. I'm like,
Now, my brother has a couple of those.
that happened, Mom. They're like, no, that didn't happen.
The glass eyeball.
There was this one. Wasn't there a kid dancing too hard? I believe he was like jumping during worship. Similar thing happened and popped out.
Eye?
Hit someone in the back of the head. The eye did.
And how do you have that?
Like they pop out that easily. I don't
know, dude.
Why do you have one?
I would imagine, I don't really know, but I would imagine because their other one got removed. Like,
very profound.
like,
I would
I don't know.
imagine they have a
Wow. Wow. Genius. This man is a genius, bro. I mean, like, what a hypothesis, bro. What a hypothesis, bro. I presume he got his other one removed. Of course, the other one is gone. Why would you have a glass eye in your eye socket if there is no eye in the first place? I mean, if there is an eye in the first place, like, why would you have a glass eye if you have an eye already? Of course, you don't have an eye, bro. That's dumb. But nah, I'm just kidding. But for real, like, common sense, bro. What Caleb Gordon said, bro. I guess common sense ain't common.
a fake eye.
well,
'Cause
instead
they
of an
lost
empty
the
eye
original
socket is what
one.
I'm saying.
Versus
Yeah,
empty
yeah.
versus patch versus.
Yeah, the eye
Glass.
patches.
Oh, yeah, okay. There's eye
yeah, you
patch.
could put an eye patch on.
I'm going patch.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah,
good
patch is
lore.
Probably better. iPad is
Just
probably
an eye?
Because it doesn't move, right?
No, it doesn't move.
No, I think it's like one of those like it's in the glass. It's in like water, so it kind of like.
it bobbles around.
Oh, it just.
I would.
There's
I would
like
go
different
patch
levels,
before
right?
I
There's
go.
like premium eye. and
Yeah,
then-
because if you have just that eye, it just looks like you have one that wanders. But that's the one that actually you see with.
You know, you have that like Trevor Wallace has that bit about like a kid when he gets on crutches. It's like the
I
best.
may have seen it.
When you're in
He's
high
like one of the
school,
funniest
to
He
come
is
in
really
with
funny.
crutches was like,
Oh,
guys,
that's right.
Yeah.
it's like it's like
Yeah.
your dream
Yeah,
to have
yeah.
some kind of injury
Stubbed
or
your toe.
cast.
Oh, an eye. Imagine an eye.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're the bell curve of having one eye is so cool. It like you're like, God, this is very yeah.
There's a
But
limit.
youth group days, that's peak.
Yeah.
This
Right.
guy's one eye.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like at some point it starts trending the opposite.
You're like, all right, this
direction.
is actually
It's like
causing me problems.
sling great, crutches great, one eye. I don't know, bro.
And then
It's a little
it's all
weird.
cool in high school, and then immediately after graduation, it just sucks again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
One eye.
absolutely.
yeah.
Well, it's probably not good the whole time.
the whole
Yeah,
time,
okay.
But in terms of ROI,
right?
youth group's got to
ROI
be
is
peak.
crazy.
Yeah.
Peak.
You're in a board meeting with the fortune. You're like, this. Why does this guy have one eye?
Actually, you know what? I broke my foot when I was in high school. Went to
Was
youth
it
group,
awesome?
and she noticed me. She was in youth group, by the way.
And you,
As-
that's when you
as
first.
student.
saw him.
Yeah, she was like, "Who's the cripple?"
See,
That was
the
what
weak
that's what
ones,
got her.
apparently.
Really made him stand out.
Yeah, Pat, that's what she told me. So one question that we have gotten is, did you do anything wild in youth group? Like, what kind of kid were you in youth group? I know it was a PK, so I guess that might
you were
answer
a
my
PK?
question.
It's gotta be
Well,
something.
yeah,
Yes.
well, we always had too much, like, way too much confidence. Like, no one could get us in trouble.
That's
because the youth leader was like my dad's, like my dad was his boss.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So do you guys ever speak about like, we called it like a judgment house?
Yeah,
It's
those are
in the
more down south,
Yeah,
right?
they're more in the south. So
Yeah.
it's like a,
Isn't it
it's
like a play almost? Or like
it's like a haunted house.
Yeah.
It's over Halloween. Surely people know what these
They
things
do.
are.
We've gotten stories about it. I feel like people in the chat know.
It's like a judgment. People call it different stuff. So you do it at the church, First Baptist Lilburn, and it's like a whole scene, and then like there's a party, right? And then there's people drinking and smoking, like they're all actors from church.
Right.
And then they drive home, and then there's the next scene is like a car wreck, and then somebody dies.
It's a classic setup.
Yeah, and then we go to hell. Like it's just the youth room with like the heat turned up, and then
It's all red.
yeah, and then you go to like, some people have to know about these, and then you go to like heaven, and then there's like a guy playing a harp with like long hair, and there's like a goat there. Like, why is there a goat in here?
They're about to kill it.
But a lot of people would get saved at these things because it's so real, and there's like and so you would enter your name to go through it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and you would enter your name, and then you went. This is horrible. When you went to the hell, it was dark in there, and there's like a voiceover. They're like, "John, why didn't you tell me?
Oh.
It's so torturous in here. Like you're supposed to be in hell." And they like, "John, this is awful. Like it's just and so like, me and my brother thought it was funny. We entered our names as Beavis and Butthead. Funny, we entered our names as Beavis and Butthead. So we were all like, but you don't go through you go through like a group, like with 30, 40 people, and you go move from scene to scene. And so we're in this, like, it's so like, people are emotional, people are crying, and then this guy's like, Beavis and Butthead. Why did you tell us?
Why didn't you tell us, man?
Like ruined the whole thing. Ruined
The whole
obviously
vibe.
because you write your name on this little. This is back in the 90s. You write your name and you go, "We're gonna go,"
Right.
and they just collect the names, and some other guy like reads them.
Yeah,
he's like,
I'm the last person the dog is afraid of, bro. He's not afraid of V. I don't hear him crying when he's upstairs. Never. Put him upstairs and you'll see. Never cries. Never. I also want to be with you. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. This is this dog is called Aman Jr. This guy's I have a dog. This dog is called Aman Jr. Dedicated to this guy over here. This is the father. This is the father of this dog. He never wants to be here. Always complaining just like his father. He's always complaining just like his father. What did you eat, Aman? Did you eat something? What did you eat? What did you eat? Where? Oh yeah.
Beavis, this is so painful.
Right. He's not even thinking too. He's like,
No.
he's just getting to his.
But no one would
hand.
think, no one would do that
Right.
unless you like
Go ahead and do mine.
been through
Uh-huh.
the haunted house, judgment house, but unless you've been through it like 100 times.
Right.
And then we started to think it was like, but man, there's probably, I'm going to meet somebody in heaven one day and they'll be like,
Go ahead, Trey.
dude, where'd you get saved? He goes, actually, the judgment house at First Baptist Lilburn. And I almost said, actually, don't worry about it after hearing the Beavis and Butthead laugh.
Actually, no. I almost said I don't know where.
All right, let's do another story from a submitted story here. This is from Jacob. Jacob said, at youth group, I shared a verse where Jesus instructs to turn the other cheek. I began to share how this can be frustrating as a Christian, and without thinking, I proceeded to say, as Christians, we never get to slap cheeks. Sometimes I want to slap cheeks, but I feel like I'm only getting my cheeks slapped.
Hey yo. Hey yo. Did he? Nah, bro. Nah. Hell.
Yo. Nice try, Diddy.
Diddy's a part of every episode. But somehow he makes it back.
Nice try, Diddy.
That's, you can't. No. Did anyone think anything of it?
He said, it wasn't until the entire example was out that I realized what I was saying.
Yeah.
Wait, read it again. Read what it said.
He said, as Christians, we never get to slap cheeks. Sometimes I want to slap cheeks, but I feel like I'm only getting my cheeks slapped.
There's too much to like that you could unpack from that scenario.
Nah. The fact that I understand that, bro. The fact that I understand that in and of itself, bro, I need a cleansing, but I need to be cleansed. I need to wash my hands, bro, because there's no way I just understood everything that whole sentence, bro, of the cheeks getting clapped, bro. Like, nah.
Dude.
We just had to be like,
No ways, bro. No ways. No way.
mm-hmm.
Out of all the things he could have picked, man.
Well, what's unfortunate now is like with our podcast, it's like you like the local Pentecostal church here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever comes out of there is not for the masses.
Right.
It's for them.
That is,
And
that's
then
true.
it gets over to me. And I go, I like the unfortunate thing about that guy saying that is it's probably on a live stream and then it's going to go on like
Right.
all the meme
Someone will find
pages.
it.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Like we've seen stuff where people doing like these act out dances and they're like, dude, roast this on your pod. I go, I don't want it.
Right.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like the guy that the famous pitches tents guy.
Yes, dude,
That
we
guy-
get sent that clip.
So do I. Yeah, I
It's
met
like, okay,
him.
guys, it's been on the internet a while. We've seen it.
Yeah, well, first of all, he came to one of my shows and he introduced himself as that.
I'm the pigeon.
Imagine.
He's owned it.
Yeah, he's
At
like,
that point.
yeah, he has merch.
Yes, merch.
But you're like, that was like the early YouTube days, and that guy is like known for that.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh, dude. As out of all the clips we get sent that one. I mean, all
Yeah.
the time. I'm like, okay, guys, like, We've seen it. We probably should just feature at this point just so people stop sending it.
Well, now we do a clip on our pod. It's called Real or Fake.
Oh, that's
so you can like, is this real or are they doing like a bit?
Right.
Because there's so many people that are like just doing stuff like that. Like, are like the one guy, wow, what's his name? Jason something. He's hilarious. And I'm like, no, he's making fun of pastors that do this.
Right. Yeah.
He's not sincere. Yeah. Like a pick it up and preach or something.
Yeah.
Like they're like,
I do see some of those where it's like, like they're just doing it to slam. And some people like, I could see how ours could come across if they don't look at the rest of the page and they're like, why would you do this? But a lot of times, thankfully, it's all in jest.
Well, that's what I, not to be serious, but this podcast, there is a lot of people that are like ex-evangelicals or like deconstructing their faith. And you can, and I've hoped that my comedy, I make a ton of jokes about, but I think if you're like, no, that guy's, like when I first started early on, I made this joke about how to make a Christian music video or how to make a Christian song.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody in the like, and everybody was like, is this guy a Christian or not? Because if I am, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. But if I'm not, this is offensive.
Right.
But y'all, I think y'all's pod always like what's funny about all these stories is if I like, guys, if you're on TikTok, like mad at your youth group for like what, like they don't, I bet that if you found that youth pastor, he doesn't defend it either.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it was a weird time.
Yeah. Right.
He's not like I believe like we did this thing where you have to eat like a prank or whatever. And if you do get the Bible trivia wrong, it was like a caramel apple, but it was an onion.
Ooh.
It was like a pretty common, and you had to take a bite of it and you had to eat it. The whole thing, like you had to eat a raw onion and peanut butter. And they were like, that's horrific.
Right.
Dude, I will say it's really 90s youth group. Because is that about the time you were going?
Yeah.
So I missed it a bit, but the stories that we get from like, they'll label it too. They're like, this was the 90s. And I know it's going to be something crazy. It's either someone eating something disgusting or someone getting very hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was no like, nobody had a release form.
Right.
I don't even know what that was.
Right.
If you showed up at whatever this, and we thought, by the way, the youth pastor, I talk about this in my special, like we thought the youth pastor had like a degree. Or like any kind of training or like at least the background check.
Even though that's pushing it.
No, yeah, none of it. We were like, this guy is like, we had a thing where like we had to practice like speaking in tongues, which is like
practicing. It's crazy.
They like did a
training session,
a lesson on it, and they're like, everybody start.
Dang.
But they didn't know what everybody's like mad at their like the trauma of like your youth group. I like how y'all kind of
that actually is fair.
You're not. I don't gather that y'all are like upset.
No, not
not at all.
I'm glad that you gathered.
I think people are definitely hyper aware now, like especially now in society, like that there's a whole list of things you can't do, but also at the same time finding a good balance of like. This isn't a bubble wrap type of environment is important too, but
I don't know. What do you say? It's not a fun game.
It's not a fun game if there's like not a chance someone can get hurt.
100%.
Like there has to be a chance that something could go wrong, or it's like it's not that cool. But like if you leave a little chance in there, that like just enough that like if something bad does happen, you could be like, well, it was really them. Then every 7th through like 10th grader is like, dude, sign me up. Like we're just like we used to have those giant hamster balls like when they first came out, like the ones you got in, and we would set up like
fun though
the markers. And I remember like it wasn't even the kids in the hamster balls getting hurt. It was the kids on the sideline who were like trying to, they would just get a little too close and they just get launched.
It's like you ever see those carvings like in the ghetto? They're like racing these cars just like in circles. And it's always the people like trying to film just get smoked by a car.
Yeah.
I love those videos.
It's like in my neighborhood, so I don't appreciate that you said it.
No, but there's got to be
It's
a
like
little
in
bit.
bad areas. In bad. Like, you're like, my block.
My block.
Yeah, it's always the person trying to get too close.
Oh,
Right.
always.
Smoked.
Always.
Yeah.
Or being outside of the windows. I'm like, dude, this is not.
Too comfortable. They're showing off. Dude, I
So-
come here every week. Bow, launched
Smack.
across.
We do this. So we do this thing, John, on the pod where I'm going to read like a bit of the story.
Okay.
You got to give me, I'll start with him so you can get an idea for it. You got to give me your best guess on what you think is actually going to happen.
That's my favorite.
So kind of like finish it. And then also the chat is very good at guessing. So they might give you some ideas. But this is a story from Isaiah. He said, on the last night of camp, I was on security duty when my friend and I decided that we should check the bathroom. As we approached,
Purity Patrol.
we saw a group of middle schoolers bolt, but decided not to chase them. Now, mind you, it's about 2 a.m. at this point. As we entered the boys' bathroom, we started to smell a strange odor coming from inside, and I immediately thought that some kids had left a vape in there.
Oh.
But as we walked further in, we realized that this was not the case. So we'll start with Cole. Best guess as to what's about to happen. And I'll give you a little hint.
Okay,
They did not say that this was a homeschool story, but in reading like
That is
the
necessary.
ending, kind of gives. I
Okay.
could definitely see.
So like keep it more like
well, I'm giving you a hint as to what could happen.
more like creatively stupid than like
yeah, kinda.
bad.
Maybe you don't know.
And
Okay.
it was a smell. He's described.
It was they
what did he
described it as
say?
smell.
Smell,
Yeah.
and it's vape.
Yeah.
So it's got to be something like
But it wasn't the vape, but they
fruity.
thought.
like it's not a disgusting smell.
Probably burning. Maybe they were burning. I don't know. Burning a fruit. Burning something. Burning something. Something. that's
Someone just said it was an axe bomb, poop in a urinal.
I got
not
one.
that.
I got one that's
Weed.
rolling. That's like left field,
All right,
but
go
it
for
could land. Like
All
I'm
right.
trying to put myself in like
You do
a middle school
yeah.
boy type of like mindset right
All
here.
Go ahead.
Boom, they're in the bathroom. They're like, yo, last night, how do we like really make our mark? You know the pump dispensers with a soap in it? They're
Yeah.
like, yo, maybe we just empty the whole soap thing out in the sinks or in the toilets, boom, and we just let it flood over
Okay,
with
yeah.
like suds.
Oh, like
That's a good one.
yeah,
a
like they were
bubble
just like
bath.
flushing the toilet, just mad
There-
soap stuff spilling out on the floor.
There's
I
a
don't know.
story similar to that where a kid peed in the soap dispenser, so it was half pee, half soap,
Peed in the soap dispenser.
and he didn't tell the church.
But it's got to be something. It's got to be something that
Something good
smells like a
smelling.
vape. Yeah, it's not
Right,
like they're
okay.
in there.
Nah, that kid needs to get arrested. Nah, that kid needs to get arrested. How do you pee inside like a soap bottle, half soap, half pee, bro? Not tell anybody. So that means disgusting. Yo, wow for that, bro.
They're like,
That's a good guess. Then. So
that
it's
would
the
be my
soap.
guess.
It's gotta be
with
something
soap.
like cotton candy, vape. That's
Yeah.
You're doing an orange cotton candy or something.
What do you think? You
Or
have a
burnt
guess?
batteries.
I'm gonna. Here's what I think.
Like burnt
It's something candy related,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how to say this on this podcast, but they're trying to ingest it a different way.
Oh,
No, that's it. That's yeah.
That's his guess.
and you can. That's
Fill
I'm
the
just saying you're
blanks.
doing. It's like something innocent because it's homeschool related, but it's not.
so they didn't say they were
Oh.
homeschool, but
Oh,
after hearing the ending, I'm like, it sounds like what something homeschool would do. What they say?
Urinal cakes. Someone brought. I totally forgot about urinal cakes.
Can you light them on fire?
They were like cheering each other on. They were like, "Bro, bite it,
eat it.
bro, bite it." Dude, I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like they're gonna run out of crazy things to say to us and we're gonna just be like, we already heard that before.
Yeah,
done with
I've never heard this one on the podcast. This is brand new.
I was done with
This
this podcast when I heard, would you rather be peed on or threw up on? And I was like, all right, this is the end of the podcast.
But now, chat. Like, real question: would you rather be peed on, be vomited on? Depends where though. If it's to the face,
I think we've
neither.
All right, let me finish this. After searching the entire stall, we stumbled across a strange white object on the ground. It was soft, squishy, and most notably on fire. But just slightly on fire, embers sparking and smoke rising from its unusual shape. We eventually realized it was a supermarket mushroom. Come to find out, the middle schoolers, not knowing how shrooms work, had decided to try smoking one together in the bathroom.
This is unbelievable, dude.
They tried to roll up a shroom, dude.
This is unbelievable.
Tried to roll up a grocery.
It wasn't candy.
No.
those kids are dumb. Now those kids are what you call idiots. Yeah, they're what you call fools. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
But it was.
The vape thing was throwing me off.
Well, that's what they thought, because I guess they smelled the aroma like smoke.
I guess we learned something.
Are all vapes sweet?
No, nobody knows anything, and I think people. But you're not gonna. You don't want to ever admit in public school you don't know stuff,
Right?
In youth group, is somehow it's a more experiential. I didn't know what.
I still don't know what shroom